Good morning, all. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I had to finish eating my breakfast sandwich so I wasn't chomping in your face. And I see that our ride or die Ronald has work this morning. Yay, he's got a job. We're so happy. So let's see if we can do a little more of this puzzle while we're waiting for Artemis. Let's see, 40 across. Title for a young Spanish lady. That would be senorita, but I don't know the abbreviation for senorita. I'm going to try SRTA and see if that's right. SRTA. Because I know the abbreviation for senora is SRA. Okay, so SRTA. We learned something new today. Okay, let's see. 43 across. Part of a squirrel's hoard. See, it's 5 letters. I would have said nuts. Oh, acorn. Acorn. Squirrels are always associated with acorns, at least in cartoons. There we go. 44 across. Bedazzle. Perhaps. I would say adorn. That's 5 letters. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. And 46 across. Outwear appropriate for snowshoeing. And that is 6 letters.
Wow.
No guess on that one.
Is it spikes?
Spikes.
Don't you put spikes on your shoes when you're snowshoeing? Isn't that a thing?
That would be a good guess, but there's an R right in the middle of this one.
Oh, never mind.
47, 1980s play about an opera star. No idea on that one.
1980s play about an opera star?
No idea on that one.
No, I got nothing either.
51, component of 5-spice powder. I think anise is in 5-spice powder. Let's see. Why, yes, it is. Okay. Group that might, 57 across, group that might organize a car wash. As you can tell, I don't just go in order. If I fill in one word, then I go for the other words that at least have a letter filled out, because I'm not trying to struggle. So 57 across, group that might organize a car wash. That would be PTA.
Are we going to start this live stream, or?
Are we?
Are we?
Are we?
Are you going to fix your name that's definitely not there, even though it should be there because you haven't done anything?
My name is there.
It's not.
You just can't see it.
Clearly I can't.
It's there, but you need to do something with your glasses. Try looking again.
Oh my gosh, it has appeared.
Told ya.
Also, I'm going to be working on something probably while we're here in the stream. I forgot that I was sent home from the market with the market sponsors banner, and I was supposed to be taking off the Velcro patches because they had a bunch of.
We talked about this last stream, and you still haven't worked on it?
I did. I just forgot that I didn't take off the last few, so I still need to get the last few off because it's hard. And I looked up way after the fact, honestly, that I can maybe use alcohol to break down the adhesive that's on the Velcro. Because it occurs to me, I don't need to reuse that same adhesive. If I break down that adhesive, I could use like hot glue or something to put the Velcro back onto the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see if I can use some rubbing alcohol.
Buenos dias, Ari.
Hello. Oh, you stinky girl. Oh my gosh, my dog farted. And it stinks.
Well, stop feeding your dog stinky food.
There's only one food that she eats, and it's kibble and occasionally pizza bones.
Pizza bones. You are such a joke.
Alcohol. Oh, it stinks so bad. It smells
you need an air freshener. You need to keep a can of Febreze in yours.
I do have a can of air freshener. Oh my goodness, thank you for reminding me.
Is it Febreze?
It's Glade.
Oh,
It's
that's not.
technically one of the things that's supposed to be one of those automatic fresheners, and then automatically. But I think we since have lost the automatic thing, so I just
You
spray
need to get you some Febreze. Because
that one smells
Febreze,
pretty good though.
yeah, but it just kind of covers it up for a minute. But Febreze eats up the scent.
Is that what you have learned from the Febreze commercials?
That's what they say in the commercials. But honestly, it does help more than the other air fresheners, in my opinion. I use Febreze regularly in the bathroom.
Ooh. I didn't find my alcohol wipes, but I found my nail polish remover, which has acetone in it. I believe.
Oh, acetone breaks down stuff. That should help.
Yeah, I just need something to apply because it's the nail polish remover that's in a jar, so you're supposed to stick your thingy in.
Yeah.
Twist it around, and so I'm trying to figure out how to now apply this acetone to this board.
I almost forgot that existed.
Oof! Oh, I opened it up. Oh, jeez Louise. Do I have a paintbrush somewhere? This is, if you couldn't tell, I am tired and all over the place. So that, I think, is how today is going to be.
No, we can't have that.
It's just that kind of day, I'm afraid. I own paintbrushes. But where are they? I also I've not completed anything today. I've started multiple things and just have not completed anything this week.
Shouldn't we save all of this for like when we start the stream?
I mean, I put on the start the stream music. Are you gonna do an intro?
Are you gonna count me in?
Sure. Hang on. I'm checking to see if there's a paintbrush in here. There's not. There's pencils and a marker. This is why all of my alcohol markers were lost. This bag has been, sorry, this is a full sidebar and then I'll count you in. This bag has been in my file cabinet because I have a proper, like you would see it in an office, file cabinet in my office. And this bag has been in there for who knows how long, fully years, because I don't remember the last time I bought these tattoo markers. It was fully like 6 years ago. This is where all of my alcohol markers go. Is I grab them, I think I'm going to use them for something, I put them in a thing, and then never see them again. I don't even have those alcohol anymore. I gave them to the girls that I was babysitting when I stopped babysitting them. Because I was missing so many, but they enjoyed coloring with them. Oh, and I have a bag of bees. Okay. Let's get started and I'll search while we're...
Because you got a heart out at 12:30, right?
Yes.
Hello, and welcome to the Wednesday morning edition of The Conversation Chair. I am your presenter, Dani, the lethargic lass, and this is my co-presenter and wee bairn,
Artemis, the fatigue, as you.
And if you have never been here before, we're just a couple hours of conversation to keep you company during the morning. We are your audio ambiance. We are your background sound. We are here to keep you company while you are washing dishes, doing laundry, fighting off hot flashes, or trying to figure out what to do because you left Georgia to go to LA for a graphic design scholarship, but it turned out to be fake. And you don't want to go back home because all your family told you not to leave to begin with, and your friends told you were crazy. But then you see a job advertised to be a live-in video editor for 3 social media influencers. Sounds great. Sounds perfect for you. You are qualified. Except when you go to the interview, they don't want you because you're not a dude. They thought you were a dude because your name is Blake. And they want a dude because they cook in the nude and paint in the nude and sing in the nude. That is their brand.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
And that bit is not from my real life.
I would hope not. First off, your name's not Blake.
That is from a book that I read 2 years ago called Pay Per Heart, because they're on something called Click Heart. Pay Per Heart by Grace McGinty. And it's still available on Kindle Unlimited if you would like to read it. It was kind of funny. It's a rom-com type book. It's kind of amusing.
I'm going to hide my camera. I'm still here. So, I'm looking for a paintbrush.
How are you doing today? I just had a burger for breakfast, and my stomach is trying to decide whether that was a bad idea or not.
Ooh, a burger for breakfast? Yeah. I am. Ooh, I found a paintbrush, so I'm doing all right so far.
Your father likes to buy those $5 bags. No, $5 bags from McDonald's.
Me too.
You get some chicken nuggets and a chicken sandwich and a burger or something like that.
Yeah, you can get either a McDouble or a McChicken, and then you get 4-piece nugget, a small fry, and a beverage.
So he bought a couple of those bags apparently because he got 2 sandwiches. But all he ate were the nuggets and the fries, and so he still had the sandwiches, and he decided.
So why doesn't he just get a 10-piece nugget meal?
Well, usually he eats the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, Father.
Because he gets it, and he works a 10-hour shift, so that's for him to like nibble on.
Yeah.
For the whole day, but then he ended up just eating the nuggets and the fries. So
do you think that acetone in this nail polish remover is going to break down the plastic of these bristles?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll find out.
Because don't they use like some sort of brush cleaner that is similar to acetone for paintbrushes?
Maybe. But also, those brushes might be like actual horsehair or something. But I'll find out.
But anyway, so I had because I get ready at the last minute on Wednesdays because I do not like to be getting up early in the morning.
Who does?
I'm not a morning person. So I said, oh, there's a burger and a chicken sandwich down there. I'll grab a burger and warm that up in the microwave. Added a couple pickles to it because your father doesn't like pickles.
Why did I not know that he doesn't like pickles?
No, I think he likes pickles. He doesn't like them on his burger. Because he puts them in his potato salad when he makes potato salad and stuff. He just doesn't think pickles go on a burger. I'm like, I can't say anything because I like pickles, but I don't think pickles go on a barbecue sandwich. And a lot of places will put pickles on their minced barbecue sandwich, and I'm like, no.
I will
put it on their pulled pork barbecue sandwich, and I'm like, no.
If I get a sandwich from McDonald's, I will eat a burger from McDonald's with pickles and mustard, but I will not put pickles on any other burger, and I will not eat mustard in any other context. Because that is how I grew up eating the burgers, because my papa was like, I have 4 children, I have bought you some food at McDonald's, this is a treat, you eat it the way it is, I'm not getting any specialties.
Well, he didn't used to get himself specialties either until McDonald's app came along, and now he can put it all in the app and order the food in the app and then go get his food. So yeah, he'll do specialties now because he's got the app.
I will be right back.
You're gonna leave me.
Yes, I need to get some pliers. The acetone is like sort of breaking down the adhesive, but it also is just kind of making the corner where I have to try to pull the thing off very slippery. So it's like I'm like yanking at it, but I'm having a hard time getting a grip now.
Grab on
acetone. So I'm gonna grab
this is what you're in store for when you watch us on a Wednesday morning. Not only are we here to keep you company, you're keeping us company. We're keeping each other company while we're doing tasks.
Trying to solve problems.
Go get your thing and I'll work on some more of the crossword.
No, it's fully not going to be that long. Just talk for 2 seconds.
I
2
cannot
seconds.
talk for 2 seconds.
You're already doing it. Just continue. I
You
can
would
hear
think
you.
you would think that I'm an entertainer or something. And I need to learn to not hold my head. But for some reason today, my inclination is to hold my head like this. But that looks weird on the camera. I need to hold my head like this, like a normal person who I see when I watch videos. But I've tried putting my laptop higher so it feels easier, but that just looks weird.
Ow!
And then
Oh, I
all
just
you're
stubbed my
looking at
toe.
the top of my head like an old person.
Oh, I just stubbed my toe. It hurt a lot. Also, speaking of holding your head some kind of way, you know how you always talk about how you're like crooked?
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed after measuring so many people at Men's Warehouse, a lot of people are crooked.
Yeah.
A lot of people are crooked.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of makes me feel better is that most people have a little bit of crookedness to them, either because they like for me, I for years carried my purse on one arm, and so I feel like I
Uh-huh.
hitched this shoulder up too much. Some people, I think people just in general, the conventional wisdom has always said that people are not 100% symmetrical. That if you really measure them, you'll see a millimeter's difference in somebody having like one breast larger than the other, or one ear larger than the other, or something like that, if you were to really measure down to the millimeter. But for most people, they can't, you don't really notice it. It's just that for me, and I think this may have happened to a lot of people because of the pandemic and everybody going on Zoom and everybody having to be on camera. So, like, while you're talking, you're seeing yourself in the camera. Because I know that's what has happened to me since we've started doing this thing, the conversation chair, previously the coffee clutch, is that I'm looking at myself in the camera. And so now it's very obvious to me that I am slanted. That, and if you see me adjusting my glasses, because that's where I see it the most, I think one of my ears must be higher than the other because my glasses slant this way. But I also notice it's just my whole body, because if I really look closely, I notice that my mouth slants. This corner of my mouth slightly lower than this corner of my mouth. It's from watching yourself too much in the camera. I think that's why, because I've read in some articles where they talk about people developing more self-consciousness about their body. I not use psychology words, but
Mm-hmm.
self-consciousness about their bodies, and part of it is coming from, or in their faces in particular, part of it is coming from staring at themselves too much in these cameras, where you can finally see every little
Mm-hmm.
thing, not just in the cameras, but like taking 100 Instagram pictures of yourself and trying to pick the best one that you want to put on the gram, that makes you really look at yourself, and then you notice,
I will take
like,
maximum 2 photos. With the TikTok thing though, because when I was posting TikTok videos more regularly, I would re-record videos like 5 or 6 times. But that's because a lot of my videos were lip sync videos, and I'm like, oh,
mhm,
that lip sync did not line up, because I hate watching a video where it looks like the person doesn't know what they're saying. Like
uh-huh.
they're like, oh, I just want to do this fun trendy sound, but like you didn't take the time to, like, you don't have to fully perfectly memorize it, but like
But when you
it
look
looks
like
like,
you don't know the words at all.
yes, and that is very frustrating to me. And so I would like practice and memorize the lines, and ooh, putting something on 2 times speed will hide a world of hurt if you just like put it on 2 times speed and then say something really fast and it just looks like your mouth is moving.
But yeah, so we're all crooked.
We are.
I'm trying not to think, because now that we've talked about it, I'm seeing how slanted my mouth is, and how slanted my glasses are and how I'm holding my head to the side.
My
And
glasses are definitely crooked. Like my, I think my where how they sit on my face, like maybe it's my ears because I think they should be like this, right? But they sit like this,
mm-hmm.
and I think they should be more like this. But that's just how they sit on my face. I also get very frustrated because maybe it's because my nose is a bit more like flat. Like when I do a side profile, my nose is more flat here. I don't have very much like nose bridge. But when I wear, because my preference is large glasses. But even when I wear like the smaller glasses, my glasses don't just rest on my nose. My glasses are fully resting on my face. Like they rest on my cheeks. And so I have this issue, especially when I wear the little wire ones. Like these ones have the big, thick plastic thing, so it's not quite as bad. Do yours rest on your face as well?
No, mine. I was just noticing mine do not touch my face because this is my fingers fully right under my glasses. Mine are resting up here. That's why I can't wear. I bought some wire frames that have the little wire, and they have the little rubbery cushion on the end, nose guards, but still I can feel the wire on my nose because my glasses are hitting right here on my nose. And so the nose guards kind of touch here, then that wire part is hitting right here. And so after a while, I can't wear those. So I have a pair that is perfectly lovely that I bought for, fancy dress that as long as I don't wear them more than a couple hours. I told you how I took them to Terry's and I was like, well, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. So I left these at home because these are my everyday glasses. And I just took my fancy pants glasses, and my nose was sore before the end of the second day of wearing those all day. So I'm like, no, those are not all day. Those are when I'm going out to dinner and I'm going to have them on for a couple hours. I'm fine. Just like with earrings, I can wear earrings, like pierced earrings. I can wear those for a couple hours, but then I want them out.
I will fully, depending on the earring, I will leave an earring in all day. Like if I have one stud earring that I will have one ear pierced. I have one stud earring that I like. If I put it in and don't remember to take it out, I will wear it for like a week. Like it'll just stay in my ear.
And a lot of people do that. They put in their studs, and those studs stay there. They just don't even take them out. Those studs just stay there.
Which is what I prefer. Everything. That's what I prefer. Like my bracelets here, I don't take these off other than like my scrunchie. I don't take these off because this is a bracelet that a little girl that I knew her when she was like 3 years old at the farmer's market, and she's now like 11, 12. But she got some clay beads and made me a clay bead bracelet that used to be orange. She used like orange and purple because I told her my favorite color is orange. So she used like orange and purple. The beads have since like faded and absorbed water and all kinds of stuff. But the bracelet's still holding up. And then this is a waxed thread bracelet that I got at my friend's wedding because they like when they put on the rings, everybody else got little bracelets to like remember the moment, And so I've kept that on. This I don't take off. It's fully plastic. I just shower in it because I like the look of having a necklace. I feel like it makes me look a little bit more put together having accessories, but I will not remember to put on a necklace every day. And so having this on that I can just sleep in, shower in, leave this in. I will frequently remember or forget to put in an earring, and I don't have to worry about my piercings, except I had to change my piercings. Did you notice?
No, I did not notice because I tried to pretend that my daughter
doesn't exist.
I have holes in her face.
I usually have the little rings that I'll either have flipped up over my lip or more likely flipped down here, like flipped down so they're out of the way. I don't remember what I was doing yesterday, but then I got ready to lay down and I realized I was like, my lip feels scratchy. And then I realized that the ball from the ring that was on this side had gotten unscrewed and vanished. I didn't even know that it got unscrewed. It just had gotten unscrewed and vanished. And so I can't sleep with it like that because there's a chance it could work its way out and the piercing would fall out and I'd wake up with piercing. And so I had to swap it out. And so I grabbed some little spikes that are...
Spikes?
They're much more subtle than the rings that I was wearing. You can barely see it in the camera unless I like am moving and they flash or whatever. But these are going to be a trial run. I have more rings that I might swap in because I am super paranoid that the skin because they have a flat back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super paranoid that the skin in my lip is going to try to close around it. Because they're healed. They're fully healed, but I still am just like so paranoid because I had that happen the last time I had my lips pierced. Because when I had my lips pierced, I had little rings, but I didn't get like properly closed rings. Like once it clicked closed, I got one that I just kind of squished closed because I was like, I'm 20, I know what I'm doing. And so there was a tiny space in between them. And so the skin grew into the space between rings.
Oh,
and so it wasn't fully like a fully open piercing. And so I'm afraid that that's going to happen here. Because if you don't like, I don't know why this would be gross. If you don't like mouths, I guess, don't look. But you see how much like flesh is there?
Yuck.
So the backs are there, but they're like buried in because I have very fleshy lips. So the backs are like buried. They're like underneath the flesh there, but it's still open currently right now. It hasn't grown over, but there's a lot of flesh there. And so I'm like, what if it, but they're healed. They're fully healed. I'm just being paranoid.
No, we do not like this.
Sorry. That's
no, I'm not grossed out by your mouth. I'm just like, what if it grows over and then you got to cut those things out of your mouth?
That's what I'm afraid of. So I will frequently
get some rings post haste.
Well, but I like the look of the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the subtle look of the spikes. And there are other people who wear like spike jewelry. I think I am just paranoid because I've had it happen once. But also that was like, I didn't wait until my piercing was fully healed before I switched to that ring and then it grew over.
Mm-hmm.
So these are fully healed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will also frequently just like poke the back to make sure that the back can still come out.
Yeah, I guess it's the equivalent of me worrying that this hole back here
is gonna close up
where I had my tooth pulled, some grits are going to get down in there and then it's going to close in over a piece of grits and then I'm going to get an infection. Man, I was diligent. That water pick was like constantly cleaning that out because I was like, I do not want anything stuck in there. But it's closed now.
So we're still in life updates. Have you done anything? I did a life update thing.
Have you done anything?
I did do a thing.
I haven't done a thing. So you tell me what you've done.
I'll do the life updates and then maybe you can do the yarny crafty thoughts because I've done nothing yarny or crafty.
Okay.
I had a friend from work come over to my house with her sibling and her nephew. Mm-hmm. And the nephew sat in the spare room playing, watching stuff on their parents' phone. But the three of us, hung out with the projector and watched 28 Days Later because 28 Years Later is coming out soon.
Is that the zombie one? Because see, there's also one about a girl in a mental hospital that has a similar name. So you're talking about the zombie one.
The zombie one, yeah. Okay. So we watched 28 Days Later, which is the first time that I had watched it since my zombie class in college.
Wait a minute. You had a zombie class in college.
I have spoken about this multiple times.
Not to me, ma'am.
I tell everyone this. What do you mean? My last French class. This is my last French class that I took in college was about zombies.
Why would there be a French class about zombies?
Because the idea of zombies originated in Haiti with it was less about raising the dead, but was more about like giving a witch doctor or somebody would give a potion to an alive person and it would like shut off their mental faculties and you could use them as a slave. And then that idea was then taken later on by other people and that turned into Night of the Living Dead, turned into yada yada yada. And so zombie movies, there are a lot of French zombie movies. We watched a couple of them and you have
never told me this because I would remember that little bit of history.
I thought that I had tell everybody about this because it was kind of one of my favorite classes. I did my final project on zombies in video games. I had to present the whole project in French.
I did not know anything about this.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite classes that I have ever taken in college.
I knew nothing.
Anyway, so we watched 28 Days Later, which was better than I remember. Also, Christopher Eccleston was in that movie, but he was not a good guy. And so I was watching the whole movie like, no, doctor, no.
Sadly enough, even my first time ever seeing Christopher Eccleston was as the Doctor. And
Me too.
Even though I am a fan of Doctor Who from way back, I kept looking at him thinking, are they going to have Doctor Who take an evil turn? Because he's got that face.
He is so serious and a little ominous.
He has the movie villain version of resting bitch face. He just looks like he's gonna be evil. There are certain actors that it's hard for them to get a good guy role because they look like they're gonna be evil. And if they ever do a movie where they are evil once and it gets big, then that's it for them because nobody will see them as anything nice.
Yes. And he, in that movie, was the bad guy. He, started off as, for anyone who hasn't seen 28 Days Later from the early 2000s, so sorry for spoilers, he started off as, someone who was going to be a bit of a savior, and then turned out, actually, no. Also, that movie is not for children. Not for children.
So it's a good thing you had the children in the other room.
Yes. I was going to have him sit in here and play Spyro on my Xbox, but some people are not super comfortable around mannequins, which I was prepared for. I was like, this is Colette, this is my mannequin. If you don't feel super comfortable around a mannequin, then you can sit in the other room. What is this room service? Oh my goodness. There's no way I'm getting all of this.
Why do you always act surprised when he gives you room service?
I'm surprised because look at this.
You need food.
I do, but this is a lot. This is leftover pizza from yesterday because he made some freezer pizza. And then key lime pie!
Lovely.
And there's a whole dog in here. Okay, I'm going to wait for my pizza to cool down just a little bit, and I'll continue explaining. But they came over. We watched 28 Days Later. It was very, very good. And we are now planning on... because we still have 28 weeks later. So we watched 28 Days Later at my house. We're going to watch 28 weeks later at her house. And then we're going to try to go to the movies to see 28 years later when it comes out later.
28 years later, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it comes out later next month. So we're going to wait for that. And with the food comes a dog.
Well, I don't have any really life thoughts other than your father called on Sunday while your brother was off and asked. At first, I didn't know it was your father. I just saw your brother on the phone talking, and I said, "Who was that?" He said, "Oh, somebody wants me to chaperone their kids," and I'm like, "At Carowinds." And my first thought was,
why don't they get a grown up?
Exactly. It was my first thought. Who's asking my 16-year-old child to go chaperone? And immediately your brother can see the look on my face and he's like, I am 26 years old. I am old enough to chaperone somebody's children.
No.
But it turns out it was your cousin Nene. So your father had called because Nene had called him to see if any of us could help.
So is Isaac going to chaperone?
Do it, huh?
So is Isaac going to chaperone?
So Isaac went and he already did. He went and chaperoned. So it was like a last minute on Sunday.
Ooh. Did he get a free ticket to Carowinds? He got to just go to Carowinds for free?
Yeah. And so he called one of his friends from work, and him and his other friend went and chaperoned these 2 10-year-olds at Carowinds and went and rode rides.
I was going to ask how old are the kids?
Yeah, went and rode rides and all this other stuff. But I was just like, so, I mean, it's not a big deal. He went and had fun. It was a thing. But it's like...
It's a big deal. He's a child.
Exactly. My thought was, who is asking my child to watch other children?
That's how I feel about one of the other managers at work is younger than Isaac. we were joking about because I can't remember exactly how old he is, but we were like literally 3 days ago we were joking about prom, and I was like, "Oh, you remember prom like last year?" And he's like, "2 years ago, actually." And I'm like, "No, I was joking. I was joking. You can't say that."
I know. I know. You're just going to run into it more and more because you are soon going to be the older lady. And it just hit me as I said that, as you were talking about work. Um, the first call center I worked in, there was some older ladies who, and I think I was in my, yeah, I was still in my 30s when I worked at the call center. Because it's right when we stopped homeschooling you and had to send you to public school for the first time. And
for the second time, I was in public school when I was in kindergarten.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. And when I said first time, immediately my brain said no, that's not right. And then I was like no, and then the other half of my brain said yes, it is right. And the first part of my brain said no, that's not right. My brain is fighting itself over the facts. But no, but there were older ladies at the call center, and they were just on the edge of, I imagine they were probably around the age that I am now. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit older, like 60, 62. Still young enough that they couldn't retire just yet, but they were right on that edge of struggling a little bit with the computer systems. Mm-hmm. And needing a little bit of help. And I remember thinking, oh, poor lady. or as Shabazz says, oh, auntie, poor auntie. Poor auntie. And now I'm realizing that if I went to work, I would be that person.
I'm not old enough to be an auntie, am I?
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're getting close though.
Stop. You can't say that to me.
I feel like but I feel it slipping in. And the thing is that now I understand. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but now I kind of understand, because I'm the one who taught y'all how to use computers. Mm-hmm. Okay. But now it's like
all this new technology.
It's not even, it's new technology and I'm confused. It's like, I don't feel like learning one more thing.
Yes, I feel that.
I don't.
If I want to learn something, I want it to be something that I actively want to learn. Not like learning fillet crochet or learning mosaic crochet the other day. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I actively want to learn and it's super fun. Mm-hmm. I don't want to learn how to use our bunk ass computer systems at work that don't make any sense. I am now, at work we have like division of responsibilities that like kind of rotate between us. So like one person's in charge of the schedules, one person is in charge of looking at our store's reviews, one person, who is me, is in charge of all of the business stuff. I have to like print off these printouts from like 7 different places on our store website that is only accessible from the like Chromebook that we use at the store or whatever, and print off these 7 different pictures and hang them up on the wall that no one is ever going to look at because no one ever freaking looks at it. There's no point in it being up on the wall other than when a district manager walks in. And then I also have to go through and look at, so when we get rentals in, if something's wrong, we have to we try our best to fix it right then and there. But if it's unfixable, we have to reorder it. So I have to look at how many reorders we had and then like send an email to the district manager that's like, hey, these are the account numbers for all the reorders we had. I looked into it. This one was because of this one's because of this, and yes, we're following up on these people and making sure they're blah, blah, and I'm like, and I have to look through all of these different like files and different charts of like this percentage, and I'm like, can I just talk to people and tell them what suits to get, please? I don't do paperwork for my own business. Why would I want to do paperwork for yours?
But yeah, so that's the only That's the only life thing I had. Before we go into Yarny Crafty, how are your are you still just stitching for pleasure, or are you working on inventory for the fall?
I started working on inventory for the fall. I actually grabbed my cotton
I
and
know.
started making. I started making some more of the dishcloths, the funny adult dishcloths that have like bad
Mhm.
words on them and pictures and stuff. I fully only started one. I started it like the day before yesterday and have gotten absolutely nowhere because I started it and realized I was just very tired. And
Mhm.
I started it with a 4.25 crochet hook, millimeter crochet hook. I need to switch to a 5 millimeter. I don't know why I started with that 4.25 because it's curling something fierce. So I'm gonna switch to a 5 millimeter crochet hook. But I think I'm gonna work on those dishcloths for a while because those sell really well when I have them. They sell
Uh-huh.
very well.
So now, and since it's summer, now is the perfect time to work on something that's not going to take up a bunch of bulk on your lap, and isn't
Mm-hmm.
going to feel hot like this Bernat blanket that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before I show you the few things that I've worked on, which isn't much, I was thinking about the what I'm going to work on for our vacation outfits. I'm
I still haven't
thinking
figured out what I want
maybe
to do.
because I have a black dress. I'm thinking I still haven't looked, but I saw some Karen Simply Soft Sparkle, and I'm thinking I might make one of the do rag things,
Mm.
so I can wear it over my hair and
Mm-hmm.
get some big earrings. So make it in red because they have a red. So make the do rag in red, and then make a belt because the black dress I'm thinking of it has like elastic at the waist. That's why I bought those belts, like the ones that you've stolen from me, because it has elastic at the waist.
Mm-hmm. I
But
love that belt so much.
the elastic. So I bought belts to like cover the elastic because the elastic doesn't really look aesthetically
Mm-hmm.
pleasing. So I bought belts to cover the elastic. So I think I might make a red belt for the elastic to cover the elastic on that dress, and then a red and same yarn make a red do rag,
So it
and then
sounds like
that
you
way.
are making something for the fancy night.
Yes, I thought that would be something that I could make for the fancy night. That's not going to take forever, like making a whole dress.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that dress pattern, so I fully intend to make it, but I don't think I'm going to make it for this year.
For this. Okay. I'm still trying to decide what I want to make. Because I've also been looking at crochet corsets, so I'm wondering if maybe if I wear like a black dress and then
Mhm.
make a red crochet corset to wear over it.
That would be
Maybe.
cute. That would be cute. Because then that's something where it's a thing that's not too huge,
Mm-hmm.
but also I'm going to slide out of frame just a minute. I have this yarn that is staring at me that I totally forgot that I bought from Timu when I was going through looking for something else. This just
Mm-hmm.
kind of popped out of a hidey hole.
Ooh. Is that cotton?
Um, I don't know what it is because it came from Timu.
Oh, unlabeled.
So let me
I
open
mean,
this back
you
up.
could burn a piece of it to see if it's a natural fiber or not.
I could. I sincerely doubt it's a natural fiber because it came from Timu. But all it says is colorful, colorful yarn hand knitting,
Okay.
green dyeing,
Okay.
healthy and environmental, made in China. That is all the labeling I got.
All right.
And
Not a brand, not anything.
since it's been over a year since I bought this, and I don't know if I went on my Temu account if it would show me a listing. I don't even know what weight this is.
It looks like maybe a 3 or 4.
That's what I'm thinking, like maybe a 3. I don't know the yardage.
Hmm.
I got 6 balls of it. I don't know if it'd
Mhm.
be enough for me to make myself a short sleeve top, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Especially if it's a mesh top.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to be a mesh because because these are 6 balls, but it's like 6 kind of small balls. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know the yardage on this. I know nothing. It's an aqua blue kind of color, but this is a nice vacation kind of color.
Mhm.
And I didn't. This is one of the few times that I've bought yarn. I'm not a person who buys yarn just because. Is that enough lemonade?
This lemonade is mine and mine alone, and it's gonna last me about 5 days. Don't question me in my lemonade. My 0 sugar Florida Naturals lemonade.
Okie dokie. Good for you. But no, I don't know anything about yarn, but it's staring me in the face now because it popped up out of the corner of the bucket when I was looking for something else. And so now I feel like I need to do something with it because I don't buy yarn just to buy in yarn. But I saw that on Temu and I just wanted to see. It was early in the days of us trying Temu, so I just wanted to see what it would look like. It was relatively inexpensive, you know, because I think I paid under $10 for that whole bag. So it was relatively inexpensive. So
Also, speaking of Temu, I went on Temu yesterday because I was like, ooh, I should get some more jumpsuits because those jumpsuits that I got were very nice. So I went on to look for some more jumpsuits. But when I look in my basket, I'm like, okay, my basket says it is $80. Obviously, I'm not spending $80 right now. I just like throw stuff in my basket because they don't have a wish list. So I just throw stuff in my basket and like toggle it on and off. But I throw stuff in my basket. It says my basket is like $80, but I'm like, I only have like 5 things highlighted. And then I look a little bit closer, and then it says like one of the things says like $5.99, but then it says / for 2 weeks, so you pay $5.99 twice, and it says full total in like grayed out almost is like $12. And so I thought it was $5.99 because that's the big number, but it's actually like $12. And then another thing that's like $7.99 for 2 weeks actual price, and I'm like, when did y'all start doing this? Stop that. Just tell me the price.
Really?
I'm being shady. Continue.
But so another thought I had, another yarny thought before I show what little bit I've got is, I put this on my list. Should I get another set of the Crayola fine line markers? You know, that's the box of markers that I originally had before I got all these other markers that I got from Amazon. That comes in the thin cardboard box that I used for ages. And it just hit me while I was doing something the other day that, I probably want to take a coloring book or two with me
on the cruise.
On the cruise. Usually I take some sort of crochet project or whatever, but if this is anything like the last time, we crocheted right up until vacation. And the one time we crocheted right up until we were about to wear the outfit for dinner.
Yep. I was at dinner crocheting at the table like, I gotta wear this tomorrow.
Exactly. And so I have a feeling if this is that's why I'm going for something small this year, because I really don't want to be crocheting right up until the end. But just in case I am crocheting right up until the end, I don't feel like I'm going to want to crochet on vacation. And I feel like color, especially since I'm spending a lot of time working on blankets, I feel like I'm just going to feel crocheted out on vacation. And not want to touch anything. So I think I'm going to take coloring, but all markers that I already have are in like big...
Is that the sound of you coloring that I hear?
What did you say?
Is that the sound of you coloring that I
hear? No, that's the washing.
Is that the washing machine?
That's the washing machine. You know the washing machine is right next to your old room.
It feels extra loud today. What?
Well, because a lot of times, if they're doing the laundry, I close the door. Should I get up and close the door?
It's a little distracting. Turn your camera off. But yeah, I can hear it like squeaking. Absolutely wild. We need to get sponsored by one of these juice companies so I can get a lifetime of juice.
Okay, I closed the door. Is that better?
Much better. I can't even really hear it at all.
Okay, good. So what were we talking about? Oh, so I think I might buy another set of those fine liners because that is a collection that it's 40 colors. It comes in a trim flat box.
Mm-hmm.
The box is not flimsy like the box that my colored pencils came in. Mm-hmm. It's like a box. It's like a box.
Yeah.
Although not, it's half the size of this box, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then inside this box are 4 other boxes.
Oh yeah.
With 10 markers each, so it's not flimsy.
How much does a pack of fine liners cost?
I do not know how much they are now. With our esteemed president's tariffs.
Because that would be my question: would you be terribly distraught if you lost them? I would say get some markers that like are easily replaceable, are not too much. So
these are easily replaceable. I'm looking on Amazon right now.
Yeah, because you don't want to like lose a pack of $70 markers.
So I don't mess y'all up.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, if you lose a pack of $70 markers, you'd be kind of distraught.
Yeah, I think these are like $25 or less.
Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm still upset about my cardigan that I lost like 2 years ago.
Your what? Oh, that's right, your cardigan.
I had a cute orange cardigan that fell off while we were on one of the vans, going from airport to van to airport or whatever.
Oh, I extremely misspoke. First of all, I bought these markers 4 years ago. I can't believe I still have them.
Ooh.
And they are right now on sale for $13.74.
Buy a pack now.
Original price $14.99. So even if I bought them full price, they're only $15. So they're not terribly expensive at all.
Yeah, I say grab a pack of those to bring on the cruise.
What'd you say?
I said grab a pack of those to bring on the cruise.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a second opinion because I have so many markers. I almost feel like, should I even buy more markers? But I know, but I did use that set for a long time. That was my only set of markers. And as you can tell, the current set that I have, out of the 30, I only have about 10 or 12 markers left because I have used them until they are dry. I have used them completely up until they're dry.
Use them markers
up, and there's a good variety in there. And so, like whatever, most of the color by number things that I use have like 24 colors per picture, 24 colors or less per picture, and so I always find there's enough variety in that set that I can do most of my color by number books without feeling like I'm missing a color.
The next question is, which book are you going to bring with you?
I don't know. I might bring 2. I think I'll probably bring...
Just keep in mind and make sure that it's something that if you accidentally lose it, you're not going to be distraught.
Well, I mean, again, all these books are replaceable.
All
these books are replaceable. I might bring one of the books from the free set that I got, like the gnomes or something like that. But I'm definitely gonna bring at least one that's color by number because color by number is just relaxing to me.
Yeah.
It stresses me to try to figure out the colors for these other books. But so yeah, that was just a thought. So anyway, let's get this show on the road.
The show's
Here.
already on the road. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we got like an hour left before you have to leave, so I want to make sure we don't leave anything out. Let's see. So yes, I'm going to get the fine line marker. Let's take that off my list. I'm still working on Your Father's Blanket. I'm working on it right now as we talk. Your father is going on a trip next Sunday because his pal is turning 70.
Ooh, 70.
Is turning. Yes, we are old.
No.
And his friend is he's a musician, and so he has gigs. His birthday is like within a day of your father's birthday.
Oh, cute.
And he has gigs starting from after his birthday all the way into September or October or something. So he's like booked. So if he doesn't take a trip now, he's not going to get a trip for a while. So he wants to take a trip for his birthday. And since it's also your father's birthday, your father decided to go as well to treat himself for his birthday. So they're going to be gone for like a week and a half. They're going to be gone like 10 days, 10, 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all this to say, I'm going to, because I've been having trouble finding time to work on this while your father's not home.
Remind me, his birthday is before Father's Day or after Father's Day?
Before Father's Day.
Before, okay. Because I keep forgetting when Father's Day is the problem.
Yeah. So, his birthday's before Father's Day. So, I should be able to work on this during the 10 days that he's gone without worrying about, he's going to see me. Because, I've worked on it a little bit. The thing is that I work during the day. I don't work on it in the mornings. Mm-hmm. And then, because I have it in this basket that I have in my office with something covered over it so your father won't see it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes he comes in here because he does have some clothes hanging in here. I don't. So then I come in here when he's at work. When I'm done with my work, typically I work till like 7 p.m. And then he gets off around 9:30 or 10. So then I come in here and grab it and try to work until I hear him come home and then stuff it back in the thing. But A, I'm not a fast crocheter like you. And B, it has been hot.
Yes, it has.
Right now I have this thing across my lap and I want it to be gone so bad.
Speaking of heat, we're gonna sidebar. I just don't have the time to hold my hand up because I'm still taking off these Velcro patches. I have been having this issue where it gets, when it gets to be nighttime, Wayne still has the AC on and everything, so I'm cold. So I will go to bed under my electric blanket, which turns off halfway through the night, so that's not a problem. But I go to bed under my electric blanket and then another blanket on top of that, and then I wake up feeling like I'm having a heat stroke because it gets hot during the day. Yep. And so I go to bed cold and I'm like, I can't warm up fast enough, and then I wake up feeling like I am on the surface of the sun.
I feel you.
Absolutely bad.
I had to turn. I generally would keep our air unit at 67. I have it turned down to 62 just to try to fight this 80 plus degree weather. And in the morning, it feels a little bit like when I wake up in the morning, it feels a little bit chilly. But being a woman of a certain age, I'm still having night sweat, so my face is dripping.
Yep.
At 4:00 in the morning. So I keep it running, but it feels
I would say, but one more time, I'm gotta deal with the bug thing. I'm sorry.
You go right ahead. But I'm just hot when I get up, and then I go about my day. By the time I can pick this up, it is too hot to even think about having this blanket across my lap. but across my lap it is, because that's just the easiest way to work the stitches. I've tried putting it like off to the side of my lap or whatever so that it's easier to work on and I don't get so hot, but it's just, there's a couple days, it's better today, but there were a couple days last week where I just couldn't bear the thought of even touching this blanket yarn. It was just too much. It was too much. I was, and that's with the air running, with our units running and everything to try to cool it off. It was just too much. So that has taken away time from me working on this, but I really want to try to get this done by Father's Day. But I have kind of resigned myself to the fact that I need to go ahead and buy a backup present just in case, which isn't too bad. Which isn't too bad actually, because your father buys me usually more than one thing for Mother's Day or birthday or whatever. So if I buy a backup present and then manage to get this done, I'll just give them both to him. So it's not like I've wasted money if I get a backup present. But I think I really do need to get one just in case I don't finish this blanket. And if I don't finish this blanket, then maybe I'll just work on it off and on and then give it to him for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Or our anniversary, which is Christmas Eve. So
close enough.
Yeah, close enough, yeah. But because it's just feeling like I do not want to touch any of this stuff right now because it's so hot. But anyway, all that preamble, I haven't gotten much length on
it's looking very good though.
Thank you. I haven't gotten much length. This is where I am on the third ball.
Third out of?
Again, for those 3 balls out of 6. This is the third ball. Again, for those who need reference, this is a full ball. This is where I am on the third ball right now.
Ronald says it looks great. We have Ronald back after his long and arduous meeting.
Thank you, Ronald. Thank you. So now that I've shown that, I can put this down and not touch it again till later because I am hot.
Ronald says he started working on a new blanket yesterday using Bernat extra thick frosting. Ooh, do I know that yarn?
Do you like that yarn? What'd you say?
Do I know that yarn? 25 millimeter hook.
I think it's new because I've seen it in the newsletters.
I'm pulling it up right now because I don't think I've seen this yarn.
But I am putting this down because I can't touch it anymore.
Can't stand it.
I at least got 1 row done. So every row is better than no row. Okay. I still have my other scrap blanket hiding on top of it. Are you looking at the
I am. Why is it on Etsy? No, back up. Can we look at this on a proper website? Let's go to Yarnspirations, a place who actually sells this yarn.
Yes, while you're looking.
Why would you be selling
the Avatar blankets, the 6-day star blanket, and the Avatar blankets, and the Bobble blanket. I think the Bobble blanket might just get frogged. I don't know that I'm actually going to finish that. I may decide on a different yarn for that blanket. A different blanket for that yarn. The Avatar blankets, I may take you up on your suggestion of letting you work on a square if you want to. You pay $60 for 9 skeins. Oh, $23 each. Lord Jesus.
Jesus Louise.
So you got I was about to say $60 is a lot, but you got a good price if they're usually $23.
Okay. There we go. I like it. It's cute. And I feel like I've seen extra thick. I don't think I've seen the extra thick frosting, but that extra thick, no wonder you're using a 25 millimeter hook. Because that extra thick is chunky. I always think of things, my problem is I always think of things in terms of how much am I going to have to sell this for. And so buying that yarn, because I would love to make a blanket out of that. It would be so squishy and cozy, and I love it. Oh, well, Onyx is the color that
I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the tag, which looks like it has something knitted on it. And I'm thinking maybe this would be something I could use your father bought me these huge needles years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he tries to be supportive of my knitting and crochet and stuff, but he doesn't know what to buy. And so he bought these huge needles because I have this carrier that was all the rage 20 some years ago, where you hang it over
Mm-hmm.
a hanger and it's got all these slots and you put all your circulars in it. I also put my
Mm-hmm.
straights in it, but it's like labeled with all the sizes.
Yes.
It's like a
I feel like
canvas.
I remember this. Isn't
You've
it in your
you've
closet on
probably
the back of the
seen it
door?
in you've probably seen it in my closet because it's been there
Okay.
for years, and it's got
Okay. I'm
all the
making sure I'm remembering the right
sizes.
thing.
It's got all the sizes labeled on it, and each pocket you can just slide your circulars, and they kind of hang out either end,
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
right?
remember.
And so I think he has seen that in my closet for ages and never seen anything in the very bottom one. So he bought some huge needles, and I'm like, I don't ever use huge yarn like that because huge yarn like that is pricey.
Or you could hold two strands together, hold three strands
Yeah,
together.
that yarn would be like whole 4 strands together.
Ronald says, I'm to the point where I need to tie on the second skein, and the internet said the best way is to literally sew it together with needle and thread. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. Yeah, that's a thing where finger knit. Yeah, you could finger knit it, but since I have those hooks, I've been ever since he bought those for me at least 5 years ago, and ever since, me and my obsession of like showing that I'm using the things
The
that you guys
gift,
have bought.
yes.
I want to show that I appreciate the gift, and so I have been constantly trying to find something to use that for. And now that I have loosened up on my purse strings ever so slightly, I might feel comfortable enough to buy maybe 2 balls of that yarn, maybe if I found it on sale somewhere.
But be careful. Figure out what you're going to make, because you might end up, remember years and years ago, and I think I made a short, like a TikTok short or something out of this video of me fussing because there's like weight 5 yarn. Like this could be weight 5 yarn and this could be weight 5 yarn. And so I bought a skein of yarn that I thought was going to be enough, and then it wasn't. And it was probably, I think, this size. The super, if I'm remembering correctly, it's pretty close to this size. And so if you buy 2 skeins, what are you making out of 2 skeins, girly pop?
Well, yeah, that's why I gotta look at the yardage and see.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking I'm not gonna buy enough to make a full blanket. I would buy enough to make like a lap throw, just something that you could put over your lap while you're watching TV or across your shoulders while you're watching TV. I'm not trying to make a queen size blanket out of $300 worth of yarn. Okay, so we are on 2 coloring pages. First, I am going to show you the things that I do not think I am going to finish.
I'm going to put you big and okay.
Number 1 is, this came from Mystery Mosaics number 1 from Mindwear. This is Crayola, no, not Crayola color, a combination of Crayola and those other colored pencils.
You think you're not going to finish this one?
I think I might not finish this one.
But it's so cute, it's a carousel.
I know, but I've kind of, now that I see what it is, I've kind of lost interest in it.
What?
I might not finish this one. I might, because these are the 5mm squares, and
the big ones.
The letters on them are light enough that when you color over them, you don't really see the letters. This is a color by letter or a number or whatever. So that's one. This is one that I printed off of that free book that I downloaded. And these are the 3x3 squares where I have to put my face in the page to see.
So you need a magnifying glass? What is, okay, I'm seeing a water wheel, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's coming together now. Sorry, it took me so long to like realize what it is, because that the one section that's like the shadow under the front part of the roof
Yeah.
looks like a bird.
Yeah, it looks much more obvious on camera than it does in person.
It
But
looks good, but that's another one you think you're not. Oh yeah, because it's super small.
it is super small. I still haven't thrown it away because it's one of those things where if I can't decide what I want to color, I pull this back out and do a few more squares of red.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done. I think I've done all the squares of red. So now I need to figure out what the next color is. Because the other thing with this is because it's something that I downloaded. I have to go on my computer, open the book back up, find the
Oh,
section
and look up what colors.
to look up what colors this is supposed to be.
Can you not just print that off the color?
I guess I could, but I'm trying not to waste paper. So
Is it
that
really a waste of paper if it's useful to you?
that may or may not get finished.
Actually, forget printing it off. Why don't you just do a screenshot and put it in your Google Keep?
That's a thought too. I could try that. But yeah, I might look at the numbers and see what other colors are coming up, because a lot of times with these mosaic ones, which you're going to see on the next one, if I look and I see what colors, because I tend to just go in and color and I don't think about, oh, what colors are in this. I'm getting better now at paying attention to what colors are in this and if this is something I actually want to color. But this one is one where I don't know what this is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. All I know I thought this was from the Sea Creatures one. Yeah, it is from the Sea Creatures one. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't like the color combinations, and I've looked at what colors I've got left coming up, and it's all just orange and green.
Ooh.
And so I don't know that I want to do any more of this because I don't like it.
Oh my goodness. Is it going to be like, okay, I see a fish emerging, and then I guess there's going to be like some coral reef around it? I want to know what it looks like.
I don't know what this is, and all that's left is orange and green, so there's nothing that I
You don't want to know what it is?
Part of me wants to know what it is, but part of me is like, I don't think I want to spend time coloring this because it looks ugly now to me.
It does look. It is a little assaulting to the eyes.
Yes.
There's a lot of colors there.
Yes. So I did on this one. I did do my best to try to match the colors up to like what was on the color thing on the back or whatever. And I just, I'm not feeling that one.
I definitely just almost stabbed myself in the tummy with these pliers.
So I don't know if I will finish that one. What I have finished, this is probably going to, the one I'm going to show next, this is probably going to be the last one that I color from the download book. Mm-hmm. Because I have so many books already here that I really don't need to be printing off free pages. But so far, this, which I had a feeling this would be my favorite, and I'm glad that I turned out to be right. This is my favorite out of the ones I colored from that book.
It's so cute. A little camper van.
I like little camper vans. I like little pictures of camper vans.
It's very cute.
Because they just make me feel, I don't know. They feel like vacation.
Yeah.
And I like this one because this is the same artist, Emily Clark. But unlike the last ones with the nail polish and the purse, those were overwhelmingly pink.
Yes, this one has pink, but it isn't everything.
Yeah, those were overwhelmingly pink. They were like every shade of pink I owned with a little bit of something else. This, I feel like this picture out of all of them is more balanced because there's plenty of blue and green and yellow and some orange, so it feels more balanced. There's even a little bit of purple down here on the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is my favorite. I think this one might go up on the fridge.
Ooh, nice.
This one, and this was all alcohol markers. So this was all my Ohuhu alcohol markers, which I'm very surprised because these are the illustration set, and I felt
Mm-hmm.
like those were muted colors to me,
But they look very bright
but
right
they look
there.
very vibrant in this picture. When you look at my swatch card, it looks like it's just filled with muted colors, but even the yellows and the oranges, which feel muted to me, turned out fairly nice.
Mm-hmm. That's all that color theory that people are talking about, where certain colors are next to other colors and they look a certain way, and I still haven't figured it out.
All that stuff. Okay, and I have one more that I finished, which I showed this one in progress on Discord. This one is it's out of the graffiti book.
Yes.
I did the first page of the book, and then this time I went all the way to the last page of the book because I was trying to find a way to use the acrylic markers,
Mm-hmm.
and but there's not a wide range of the acrylic markers, so I had to find a picture that didn't have a
It had the
wide
right colors.
that didn't have a wide range of colors in it.
Yeah.
So this one was like 3, 6, 9. This was only like 10 colors. So not sure how I feel about this one, but
I like it.
it looks better on camera than it
Yeah, it
does
looks
in
cute.
person. But the
These pictures always, the graffiti ones look like I am looking at graffiti on the wall on a wall in a video game.
yeah,
Every time.
that's because they're very pixel.
Yes, but it's very
Um,
cute.
And I know Ronald said on the first one that he could definitely see the numbers because the numbers in this book are very dark. They're not gray like in my other books.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I wanted to try the acrylic markers to see.
Yeah, I can't see the numbers under the pink or the orange.
That's because I had to do 3 coats of acrylic marker to cover up those numbers.
Wild.
Now the gray here is alcohol marker.
Okay.
Because I just had a feeling that my one gray acrylic marker, that it would dry out if I tried to do this whole thing.
That much. Yeah.
So I had to do 3 coats. Now, like with the black is acrylic marker, but that's only 1 coat. The purple is acrylic marker, that's only 1 coat. But these lighter colors, like the pink and the oranges, I had to do 3 coats, and if you were here in person, you could still see the numbers through there.
Really, Ronald saying, "Oh heck no" for those 3 coats.
Yeah, it's very. So that's the last time I'll do that. That was like an experiment, just to see if I could color those numbers. But for the rest of this book, I'm just gonna color, and if you can see the numbers through, you can see the numbers through. But that just tells me that I may not want to buy any, even though I like this book, I may not want to buy any more from this company or from this artist. This book is by Celeste. This artist is Celeste Starling, by the way. The colorist always mention the name of the artist, which is not on the front of the book, but you have to go into the copyright to find the name.
And I like the art itself, but I agree the numbers need to be lighter.
I like the art a lot, but the numbers are dark. And so it's just which on the one hand is great if you're like me and it's hard, you have issues with your vision.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the kind of markers that's going to cover that up,
yeah,
then
I thought for sure the acrylic markers would have done it.
That you would think
without having to do 75 coats.
But like I'm looking right now, even the reds down here, you can see through it. I mean, I don't
Wild.
know if I hold it up close, if you can see what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
we can see now once you hold it up.
Yeah, but you see, like with the pink, you can
Hmm.
barely see it because I went over it 3 times.
Crazy.
So it's like, and so it makes the picture look like from back here, it looks pretty good. When you're looking at it in person, you can see all those numbers,
Yeah.
and it distracts from what the picture looks like. But they are fun to color. I like the art of them. I have to say that I do have to do, because all of them have this background part, which
You need
is
to get some
just
more gray
like
markers.
what?
You need to get some more gray markers.
Yeah, they all have this kind of background part where that takes forever to color. So I just do those first so I can
Hmm.
get them out of the way, because that's my least favorite. I have found in coloring all these pictures that my least favorite thing to do is color like just
Backgrounds.
is color just big sections of.
Hmm.
I thought that would be easier to do, but realistically I like just filling in the little sections. I like filling in little squares or
Hmm.
little, or like my other mosaic book that just has the little shapes with the thick lines around it.
Yeah.
I like filling those in. I don't like having to do a huge section of black or a huge section of gray. Just not my thing. But so there's the coloring pictures. That's my progress for this week. So this coming week, I'm basically going to try to work on your blanket, work on the blanket when your father's not looking at me. But honestly, I might just give myself a break the rest of this week and just color, because he's leaving on Sunday.
Oh
So
yeah,
then,
so you'll have plenty of time
and
then.
he's going to be gone for about 10 days or so. So I can work on it. If I can just color this week, then I can work on the blanket
Hmm.
while he's gone during the hours when it's cooler.
My plan is probably going to be to work on some dishcloths this week, I think.
I want to buy some cotton and but I don't. Dishcloths are just not a thing that I have.
A need for it.
I don't need dishcloths right now.
Hmm.
So, and I have other projects that I really want to finish. So I'm trying not to get myself distracted by dishcloths.
Yes.
Okay, it's almost 12, so do we want to go into our media consumption before we hit our shower thoughts?
Yes. My media consumption was kind of covered by me talking about my friend coming over and we watched 28 Days Later. Though my stuff is going to be short, so I'll go real quick. I watched 2 interviews with Leslie Jones. I
Did
always
you watch that
forget
big that long hour long one? Because I saw it come up in my algorithm, but I didn't watch it.
which one. Which one are you talking about? Where she's
I
on the
can't
Touré
remember.
show?
On what?
The Touré show?
I don't
It's got
know.
like a yellow screen.
I
It,
don't
it
know.
was it was a fairly recent one. It's probably the same one.
Yeah, it's a recent one because it just
Yes,
popped up.
I did watch that one, and it was good. I always forget how much I enjoy Leslie Jones until I like sit down and watch her. But I think I enjoyed I like her comedy, but I think
Mhm.
I like her better when it feels less scripted. Because I see
Mhm.
her on I think she's been on the Daily Show or like shows like
Yeah, the
that where
Daily Show.
she's saying a thing and like it is her humor, but it feels like
Mhm.
her humor has been so scripted down. And so it
Mhm.
feels like a little unnatural. But watching her in interviews is hilarious because she's so funny, but she's like freely funny instead of having to follow this like script thing. Does that make sense? Like I've seen
I
her,
understand.
I think I've seen her a couple times on Saturday Night Live as well, and it feels less constricted. I think it's just on these like news shows because I feel the same way about Josh Johnson. I love Josh Johnson; he's my favorite comedian. But watching
Mhm.
him on the Daily Show with these scripted things, it feels too constricted almost
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
for my taste. Also, two of my favorite comedians right now, Josh Johnson and John Marco Ceresi, were on Dropout.
Don't know that second person, but go ahead.
You wouldn't like him. He is much more like, he's a bit more edgy. Like, he still talks about the same kind of similar, talks about stuff.
I can't handle edgy.
No,
is what you're saying?
No, you cannot. But there's
I feel challenged now.
There's another comedian. Okay, go watch the episode then. Go watch the episode and tell me what you think. Actually, let's watch the episode together. We're gonna skip this. We're gonna watch the episode together. But it's John Marco, Josh Johnson, and then another comedian who I don't know as well, but who is very funny actually. But it's an episode of Game Changer, and the episode is called Crowd Work. So there's an audience in the Game Changer setup room, and they go out. And at first the comedians go out. So for round one, they just go out and they just pick out somebody, do normal crowd work. And then for round two, everybody has jackets and stuff on. So half of the crowd unzips their jackets and they have white shirts provided by Dropout that says, "Ask me about my dog, ask me about my family, ask me about my relationship." And so it gives them things that they could things to go off of. So the whole crowd was picked specifically for this because they have wild stories. And so in round three, they do a second unzip where more people in the crowd unzip, and there's red shirts that are their red flags, and some of those are "Ask me about my addiction, ask me about my accident, ask me." So stuff that would be that a good comedian would be able to work around if they and still make it funny if they're or a bad comedian might step in it and it would be very bad. It was a great episode. Because I love crowd work. It depends. I like crowd work as long as I feel like the person is not getting very, very embarrassed. If it feels like the person is laughing and kikiing and along with the joke, then that's fine. If it feels like the person is just being made fun of and everybody's laughing except for that person and they're just get me out of here, I don't like that. But yeah, good crowd work, I feel like everybody feels included and it's funny.
Well, Ronald says he'd like to beat the Sabres today.
Yes, we can absolutely play Beat Saber today. Ooh, and Ronald started the Reliving podcast?
Yes.
What do you think about it, Ronald? I'm not caught up. I haven't watched the last, I want to say 2 episodes, because they're putting out episodes faster than I thought that they would. I thought it was going to be once a week or something, but it feels like they're putting out episodes every couple days. But you can go ahead with your media consumption while waiting for Ronald to on.
I don't have a lot. I have fallen into, let me hit the easy one first. This week we've gotten back into watching movies together, your sister and I. Mm-hmm. Because if your father was off, was off for a couple weeks, so we didn't have our Monday time. But so this was the first Monday back watching something. We watched the first half of Burlesque because she had never seen it. Have you seen Burlesque? Christina Aguilera and Cher.
Yes,
I've seen it. Yeah,
isn't that Lady Marmalade is in that song, right? In that movie, yes.
No. See, she said the same thing. She got it confused. Christina Aguilera sings that song with 4 other singers, but that song was in the movie Moulin Rouge.
Okay, that's where I got confused. I have seen both of these movies. I saw Moulin Rouge a lot more recently than I think I saw Burlesque.
I have not seen Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge is good.
Yeah, I had no interest in it, so I had not seen it. I might go back and watch it, but I had not seen it. And I remember the song because I was like, okay, yeah, y'all did a good job on it, but I like the original. But Burlesque, she got them mixed up too because of Christina Aguilera. But Burlesque is so cheesy. But it's on Netflix and it's leaving on the 26th, I think. Either the 26th or the 30th of this month.
Well, you know I don't have access to Netflix.
And, try it again. They might have forgot. Because half the time with the Hulu, they tell me, okay, you don't live here. And then I try again later and they say, okay.
Sure.
Sure. But
I'm not this time.
But now I'm not using your Hulu because our cable pays for our Hulu now, so switched over to that. So I finally bit the bullet and canceled some of the things that we were using and signed up to what the cable, because we're not, despite what your father says, because we talked about this just the other day, and he says, I'm just waiting to do da-da-da, and then I'm going to cancel the cable. I'm like, honey, I know this is your plan, but we have been talking about this for at least 15 years. And I'm not exaggerating when I say 15 years. Usually I cannot keep up with time, but I swear it feels like 15 years. We used to have DirecTV, and there was an issue with the DirecTV, and so he called DirecTV. He could not get the issue resolved. I can't even remember what the issue was, and so he said, fine, I'm going to cancel. He got into a snit and he canceled, and that very day he canceled and switched us over to cable. We had gotten rid of cable like 10, 15 years before that. And he switched us over to cable. And this has been 20 years ago. And I'm still a little bit in a snit about it. Not really, but I will say the first year that after we quit DirecTV and went to cable, I was pissed because I liked DirecTV.
Yeah.
And I was pissed. And I can't even remember what I liked about DirecTV that we can't get on cable now. But it seemed like there was some stuff that we couldn't get on cable that we had on DirecTV, and I was just pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And
also, catching the comments, Ronald said he started the Reliving Pod. He said he still hasn't finished the first episodes, but he likes to listen to it while he's crocheting, which is basically what I was doing. I was listening while I was like crocheting and sitting and sipping my little coffee in my little book nook corner. Have I showed you guys my book nook corner? I'll pull that up in a moment. Also finished Dungeons and Drag Queen season 2. I still haven't started because Ari and I
haven't started that either, because we had said, we're gonna watch it together. So I held off for a minute, and then I was like, you know what, I should just watch it by myself. But I haven't gone in and done it yet. But anyway, he says he's going to get rid of. So he's been saying for years, ever since streaming started coming in, and all these different things became available, I've been trying to get him to get rid of cable, and he has all these kind of excuses, and he just won't get rid of the cable. And I came very close one time to doing it, and I called the place but then at the last minute I was like, you know me, I'm indecisive, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good deal. I need to consult with my husband. And I consulted with my husband, and there went the end of that, because he felt like he could get a better deal. And he said, well, I'll call him myself. And then it never happened. But he finally admitted the other day, part of the reason he doesn't want to get rid of the cable is because we are old, okay? And we are from the generation where, I hate saying this, but back in my day, but we are from the generation where you sat down and you picked up the remote and you just flicked if you were bored, till you found something that would hold you over. Nowadays, it's more purposeful. You have to know what service you want to go to and what you want to watch to kind of pick what you want to. And some of the places are trying, like Pluto TV, are trying to replicate the TV thing. Can't really, because they have these channels that are like Wipeout, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then the next channel is Little House on the Prairie, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And that's not the same.
That's not the same as having a channel that has different shows, and you can pick up your remote any time of the day and just kind of flick and accidentally find something cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can't let go of that, and that is why we can't let go of cable. So I just gave in, and when cable started sending me these emails because cable, while I'm trying to get him to get rid of cable is like, oh, people are leaving us, what are we going to do? And so now Spectrum
Cable has
offers,
made the deals with the streaming services.
yeah, has made deals with the streaming services and has decided, oh, if you stay with us, then included in your package, you can get Max and Paramount and Hulu and Disney and all this other
Y'all
stuff.
got Max?
Yes. We got Max, and then I switched my Disney over, and they said if you pay us $1 more, you can have a Hulu. So we're not paying anything to Disney over our regular package, but they say add $1 a month, and you can have Hulu. So we added $1 because we were
So y'all got all the services, is what I'm hearing.
Because we were and Peacock. We were paying, I think, $14 for Peacock Premium. So we just switched over to Peacock with ads and let cable pay for it. So
what I'm hearing is I'm about to start getting some more passwords from y'all. I'm on my last 2 pieces of Velcro.
So we watched Burlesque. We watched the first half of Burlesque, and we've been really, the only reason to watch that is to watch the musical numbers, because I don't care about the little romance, and I don't care about, oh, Cher is going to lose her burlesque house, whatever will she do, and the hottie McHottie who is trying to buy the place from her. I don't care about any of that. My whole reason to watch Burlesque, that's why I usually, instead of rewatching Burlesque, I just go on YouTube and find the clips
from the songs
of the songs and watch the dance number, and I'm good.
That's how I feel about the movie Jingle Jangle. The movie Jingle Jangle, it's good to watch once, but then it's just the music. The music is very good. It's it's a quaint little story. It's a Christmas story. You know how Christmas stories have that vibe. Yeah. And Keegan-Michael Key is very funny in it. But also it's like, once you watch it once, you don't need to rewatch it. Just look up the album on Spotify, because it's just about the music and the music.
That's also how I feel about Pitch Perfect. Because I enjoyed watching the first Pitch Perfect. I don't like the second and third Pitch Perfect. I don't think I might have watched the third.
I watched the second one. I did not watch any after the second one.
I watched the second and the third, but I didn't like them. I only liked the first one. And I don't even feel the need to rewatch the first one. The only thing I ever do is go on YouTube to watch that one scene where they're all in that emptied out pool. And
with Jacob Wysocki. It didn't occur to me until after the fact that Jacob Wysocki is the one that's the announcer for that. All
the different groups are doing their thing, and then she comes forward and does her thing. That's the only reason I watch that. That is the only reason I watch that. And so we still have to watch the other half, because we have turned into those old people who watch movies in halves because we don't have time to sit and watch the whole thing.
Wild.
I have also fallen down the rabbit hole of Chicago Med. I originally was watching. You finished it?
No more Velcro.
Yay!
I got all the Velcro off.
Yay! I did watch the first episode and the adventuring party to go with it for Titan Takedown.
What'd you think?
And that was pretty good. It was more fighting.
Yes.
Because I watched Dungeons and Drag Queens, and that was like a lot of the.
That was more story heavy.
And a lot of story, and then they had a little bit of fighting. This one was like just fighting from the very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of listened to it in the background, but I don't know. I was not in a rush to go on and.
There's a bit more story stuff later on. I think Brennan got in heavy with the fighting because they are wrestlers. Yeah. And so he probably thought that would be the part that would like kind of get them into the game. But there's more story stuff a bit later on.
And it was interesting because even more so than with Dungeons and Drag Queens, these people really don't know how to play D&D.
Nope.
They really don't. And so it was fun. I mean, that's not a dig because I have never played it either. So it is fun to watch them go, okay, what am I supposed to do? What dice am I picking up? What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the appeal for me to watch it because I don't play.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go back to it, but I was not in a rush to go back to it.
They
But
just announced. Well, one, they also just put up their show from Live in Madison Square Garden, which
I saw that.
I want to watch it, but I haven't yet because I think it's in the Unsleeping City universe, which I was not prepared for. So I need to go. I think I might rewatch that before I go watch the live one.
I saw that. It looks like an interesting concept. It does have one person who annoys me, so I'm not gonna.
In the Unsleeping City.
So I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, but I think the one person that annoys you is part of the main cast, so that's going to take all of the main cast ones out, which is unfortunate. I think I know the person that does annoy you, and like obviously they're not the main focus of the whole show. Like if you can get past them not being your favorite person, the show is very good. It's very good because they also annoyed me in the beginning, and now I'm just like, okay, they're there. Like I will watch everybody else, and they will be there doing what they do. But they also just announced their next series with the main cast, which is going to be freaking steampunk. I'm so excited.
Oh, steampunk, that would be fun.
I'm so excited.
That would be fun. I never did finish. I went back to try to finish up the Misfits and Magic, and I think I got almost to the end. I think I have one episode left. Just like I never finished
season 2, right?
Just like I never finished the season 2. Just like I never finished the one with the
Court of Fate and Flowers.
No, I finished that one.
Which other one did you finish?
The ones with, I want to say ferrets, but they're not ferrets. Sloats?
Burrow's End.
Burrow's End.
They're stoats?
Stoats. I said sloats. Stoats. I couldn't think of the name. But no, I've been watching a lot of shorts on YouTube, and YouTube has been serving me a lot of clips from Chicago Med. So I was like, you know what? I might as well go watch Chicago Med.
What's Chicago? Is it just a medical procedural drama?
Yeah, it's a medical procedural. The hook on that is that they started with, I think, Chicago Fire, and then the next season they added a new show, Chicago Med, and then they added Chicago PD, and now Tuesday is Chicago Tuesday. And so all 3 of those shows, because they're hour-long shows, so all 3 of those shows are on Tuesdays. And then just back to back. And they have cast members that, because it's all the same, it's real world Chicago. When they opened up the first episode of Chicago Med, they had the actual mayor of actual Chicago.
The actual mayor of actual Chicago?
Doing the ribbon cutting as if this was a real hospital in the real world. On the first episode of Chicago Med.
That's alright, I thought.
And so they try to make it as very much real world as they can. It's real world locations. I saw them do a thing by the Bean where your father and your brother and I took pictures in front of the Bean when we went to Chicago. And
go to Chicago.
So they try to make it as like real world as possible in that way. And they have like the cop, when a police officer has to come to do something at the hospital, it's the police officers from Chicago PD, and the paramedics are paramedics from Chicago Fire.
They're creating their own cinematic universe.
So yeah, they've got their whole universe, and it's all crossing and whatever. But I remember when it first came out, and I remember thinking that Chicago Med was the one that I prefer over the other ones, mainly because it was very just like procedural. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for this is the story of the week, and we wrap this up here, and then next week there's different medical cases. We wrap this up here. There's a little bit of, so I watched the whole first season. I spent all last week pretty much, because I do about an episode or two a day, except on Saturdays I can run through a good bit of them. So I finished the whole first season, and I think I'm on episode 3 of the second season at this point. And it's I'm probably gonna go watch another episode of that as soon as we get done here, because I feel like I need to lay down for a minute. So I'll probably watch that while I'm laying down. But I like it because it is. I like Oliver Platt, who plays the psychiatrist. In the psychiatry department. They seem to work him into almost every case. It seems like
I have to look up Oliver Platt so I remember.
It seems like it seems like every medical case has some sort of psychological element to it, which is kind of interesting. And I also like that it's getting heavier this second season, but in the first season it wasn't Grey's Anatomy Private Practice kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched those, but we used to watch Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice, and I can't speak for your father, but I gave up on Grey's Anatomy because I got tired. At the point that I gave up, everybody in the hospital had slept with everybody else on their second go round, and I gave up soap operas for a reason.
Yes.
I used to watch, Guiding Light and all that, One Life to Live and all that kind of stuff. I gave that up for a reason because I am tired of I'm not a prude, but at the same time, I get
That reminds
bored.
me, I wanted to start watching that black soap opera that just came out. I need to go back and watch it.
I'm not a prude, but I do get bored when the main storyline is who is sleeping with who. Okay. I mean, if you're going to show me people's lives, but you're going to show me other stuff that's going on, that's fine. But when we get into the whole B story is this one's sleeping with this one, and then this is jealous and blah, blah, blah. I'm bored with that.
Yes.
I'm very bored with that.
Yes.
So far in Chicago Med, at least the first season, is very much it's very much the medical stuff. And they give a little nod to, okay, this one's been married for 30 years, this one's been divorced twice, but it's not
the main focus.
It's not the main focus. Now, going here into the second season, they're starting to get a little bit more into who's sleeping with who. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to stick with the show, but they're still heavy on the medical cases, and that's the interesting part to me.
This just makes me remember I miss watching 911 Lone Star. I stopped watching after they announced that what's her name, was it Grace, wasn't going to be on the show anmore, and I'm like,
and they can't that show.
Yeah, that too. And I'm like,
yeah, I never watched the last season. So
You're my favorite.
Woo woo woo.
Not woo woo woo.
But that's what my sister says when she sees all that affection. It's woo,
yeah,
woo,
that's
woo.
What what's her name, Sinclair in Living Single says. Woo woo woo.
But yeah, I see I lost myself. Are you wearing your baby blanket around yourself?
I am. I got cold. He has
You're
the AC
wearing
on,
your baby blanket.
Yes. It's still got a big hole in it that I need to fix.
Yes, you have skills now. You can fix the hole in it.
But right now, it's still working as a blanket.
But so yeah, I think I'm probably going to keep sailing through Chicago Med until something happens that annoys me. Because I have been known to, if they kill off a main character or something like that, I have been known to be like, okay, I don't want to watch.
I'm done with this show now.
I'm done with this now. I don't want to watch any more of this. So just like you lost interest when they got rid of Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like characters that I like, if they get rid of them, I'm like, you know what? I can stop watching this. There's, especially in this year of our Lord 2025, there is so much stuff to watch that, because on Monday we were gonna watch 2 different things, and then she mentioned something about burlesque. We were talking about something and she mentioned burlesque, and she said she hadn't seen it, and I'm like, Okay, and then we had to do a sharp U-turn and
Full
watch
halt.
the next.
Skirt.
Really, we were about to watch. We started with one thing, and then we didn't want to watch. We started with an anime, and then we watched one episode of that. Didn't like that, so we were going to move to Grease, the live one they did on NBC, and I was pulling it up and everything, and then she said, and then we started watching it. We started watching the opening scene. It had Julianne Hough in it, and I said something about Julianne Hough being in. Don't you know her? She was, Dancing with the Stars, and she was in Burlesque, and she was like, "Oh, I've never seen Burlesque, but it's on Netflix. It's leaving this month," and I'm like, "Yup." Back out of Grease, turn around, go to Netflix. So yeah, so there's so much that you can watch that there is no reason. I wish I could apply that same logic to books, because when I read a book, I get stuck into a book, and even though it's bad, my brain is like, but I kind of want to know where they're going with this, and so it's hard to make myself stop reading it. But a TV show, they do the littlest thing to annoy me, and I'm like, you can go on the ass sheet, because I've got other things that I can watch. You can go. So yeah, that's me. We barely have time for shower thoughts. We have about 5 minutes for shower thoughts. You got anything would you like to mention a shower thought? Or are both of these shower thoughts mine?
No, I can't. You say yours and maybe I'll remember mine.
Okay, first of all, do I have old lady hands?
I don't think so.
Because I was watching something, and they were talking about how you can tell a lady's age by her hands.
But also black don't crack, so
yeah. But this lady what made me think of it was I was watching one of those videos with the colorists, and they this was a black lady showing coloring books, and her hands her voice sounded like my age. Her hands looked hella old, and I'm like, do my hands look that old? And so there were all these things of, you can tell a woman's age by her hands. And do you see these hands?
Yes. Are those 60-year-olds' hands though?
That's what this is saying. My hands do not look this old.
No.
My hands do not look this old.
I mean, you say like moisturized and stuff.
I don't even moisturize that often, though. I mean, that's a little closer to my hands, but I mean, you can't see the veins in my hands like that.
You cannot. You got your hands. I guess it's time to start your journey as a hand model.
Whatever. Whatever. See, yeah, even those hands, that looks a little bit better, but I don't think my hands look that old. And I have some age spots. I guess these are age spots, although I feel like these spots have been here for a long time. But I don't think I have old lady hands.
I don't think your hands look like my hands. Indistinguishable, except I'm darker.
Exactly.
Is this good entertainment? Are you entertained?
So even though I can't pass for a 30-year-old here anymore. Maybe I can pass for a 30-year-old here.
Wild.
My other thought was about how the internet has exposed how other people live. Like when I was younger, before there was internet or even a lot on TV, you would you maybe go to somebody's house and they do something different than what they do at your house, and it's like, huh, that's weird. They're just kind of weird over here, I guess, because the way we do it at our house is right.
Mm-hmm.
They're just weird. But what made me think of it is the Instacart ketchup commercial. Have you seen the Instacart ketchup commercial? Okay, you must not get those ads on your YouTube.
I
There's a
keep
commercial. This is commercial with this black couple. Yeah, I see it, Ari. We're
I turned
wrapping
on the
up.
soft hip hop. We're wrapping up.
Yep. There is this Instacart commercial with this black couple, and they are moving house. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
so they have all their stuff packed from the kitchen that they're moving into their new kitchen, and the guy's like, I can't find the ketchup, and she's like, it's there, and he's looking in the refrigerator. I can't find, there's no ketchup in here. The ketchup is there, and then she walks over to the cabinet, and the ketchup's in the cabinet, and he's like, there's ketchup. Bye, Ari. and,
Bye.
and he's like,
Yeah, we'll be playing Beat Saber later.
he said, you've always put the ketchup in the cabinet. Even in your mama's house, you put the ketchup in the cabinet? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, baby, your mother failed you. And I am so sorry. And then cut to him putting in the grocery order, and Instacart has 2 bottles of ketchup on sale for $1 or something. And
Mm-hmm.
so he buys 2 bottles of ketchup, and he labels one fridge and one cabinet.
Wild.
And
Wild.
she just looks at him and raises her eyebrow, like. But that commercial just made me think of how many things these days that people are. It's turning into more of a national discussion.
Yes.
Things, because when you were a kid and you saw somebody kept their ketchup in the cabinet instead of the fridge, I'm like, oh, they're weird over there, and you didn't think anything else of it. But now something like that can turn into a whole national.
Yeah, it's like somebody's making a video of like, oh, look at my fridge that I just cleaned, or look at my cabinet that I just rearranged or whatever, and there's ketchup in the cabinet, and then everybody on the internet is like, why is she keeping ketchup in the cabinet? The celebrity 28-year-old Sandra keeps her ketchup in the cabinet, takes the world by storm. Like,
really, I just saw a video last night of a woman my age who was flabbergasted because she had watched a cooking video, and the woman had taken her hot dogs and put them in a pot of water, put them on the stove and boiled them. And this woman,
boiled hot dogs are the worst way to have hot dogs.
But you've seen people boil hot dogs.
Yes.
This woman had never seen anybody boil hot dogs. She didn't know. She didn't think
that was the way that you could.
She was so confused. She thought the hot dogs were not getting cooked because they were being boiled in the water. This is a woman who's my age.
Wild.
She said she has never seen, but she's never, to her knowledge, she has never eaten a boiled hot dog. And everybody in the comments is like, baby, if you have eaten a hot dog out at a restaurant, it was either boiled or steamed. But in her family, they either cooked them on the grill when you have a barbecue, or if it was like winter and you're having hot dogs, they put them in a pan and put them in
a frying pan. Yeah,
they put them in a pan and put them in the oven.
Okay.
I have never seen anybody put a hot dog in the oven in my life, unless it was inside a casserole, like a bean casserole or something like that. But just to put hot dogs on a pan and put them in the oven, never.
Wild.
Never in my life. But that's what I'm saying. There's all these things that you think you know how everybody is living because the way you're living, like the package, if I'm not mistaken, the package of the hot dog tells you to boil. Maybe the package doesn't tell you to boil the hot dogs.
Maybe not. Maybe it used to and it doesn't anymore. I am having that issue right now because Wayne and I, even though we've been living together for years, we still have things that I'm like, this doesn't go here. Like he will, like when you get bread in from the grocery store, where do you put your bread?
We have a little like container that we put the bread and we put it in the cabinet.
Fridge.
He puts his bread in the refrigerator? Mm-hmm. Cold bread? Ew.
Cold bread.
Bread.
Cold bread.
I hate cold bread.
I mean, I'm not eating a cold sandwich anyway, so it doesn't bother me as much because if I am using bread, it's going to be heated. Like it's going to be a warm sandwich of some sort. I do not eat cold sandwiches. Um, but it's like that's not where that goes.
I do not like cold bread because I remember people would like they would buy bread on sale and buy like 3 loaves of bread and put 2 of the loaves in the freezer to keep them fresh while you're using the first loaf. I don't like that because I feel like even after you thaw that bread,
Maybe it's just a white people thing.
you've lost the softness of the bread.
Ronald, I need you to weigh in. Do you put your bread in the fridge? Because Ari says that Tyler puts his bread in the fridge. Is it just a white people thing?
Because I don't like, yeah. It's just, but basically, I was just thinking, just marveling over how so many discussions, because of the internet, so many discussions are being started because people are starting to learn that what you do is not necessarily what everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like, oh, in another country, but like here in the country where you are. He
Ronald
used to
says,
put
I
bread in
used
there to last longer, but a baker told me that it dries the bread out. Thank you. So we try not to now. Exactly. That's what I meant. The bread feels, when I say it loses the softness to it, I think that's what it is. The bread's drying out.
But my grandma's
I put like 8 loaves in the freezer. Yeah, see, I know people who put bread in the freezer, and it's like I don't like it.
Nah,
I don't like it. I'd rather buy 1 loaf at a time and just eat that than have bread in the freezer. I don't like it. But on that note of everything that people do, including do you wash your legs with a washcloth or not, this has been.
It was wild.
This has
been the conversation chair. Yes. Also, if anyone's curious, my blueberry plant is still alive. Bartholomew berry is thriving.
Yay!
Yes. Hopefully I'll have blueberries.
My cherry tomato plant is leaning. I think I need to get some sort of stick.
Ooh, that reminds me. I need to rotate Bartholomew because there's one side that like kind of faces the sun and the other side faces the house. I need to rotate him again.
What, Bartholomew berry?
Bartholomew berry.
Okay. Okay. Close us out here because you're the one who has to go to work.
This has been the conversation chair. Do the YouTube things. If you like the video, give us a like. If you want to follow us so you'll be here to talk to everybody, give us a subscribe. If you want to know exactly when we go live so you can be here talking to everybody live, hit the notification bell and tell me, do you put your bread in the freezer? Do you put your bread in the fridge? Leave a comment.
Leave a loaf of bread in the comments.
Leave a loaf of bread with an ice box if you put it with a little ice, if you put it in the fridge, and leave a loaf of bread like a drawer or something if you put it in the cabinet. There's got to be some emoji. Leave a loaf of bread and some other emoji to let me know where you put your bread.
Where you put your bread. And you can tell us where you put your ketchup too if you want to.
Ketchup I don't care about because ketchup I do not eat.
Whatever.
It's gross. I think we're out of here.
We are out of here. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.